Welcome to the ultimate round of the daily, round 4. We're going in with Flora's twin against Grixis twin, show you how powerful twin has become in the metagame. So here we open with a fine hand. It's not the best, obviously we don't have any counter magic, but we do have both of our colors. Unfortunately for us, he Inquisitions the first turn, but we do have a Jace still. We draw a mana link, which is nice. So we're going to go to town with this. The great thing about our deck is our mana is 10 times better than his deck. They don't play as many mana links as we do, at least most lists don't, so I try to run a Jace out. It doesn't get through, but that's fine. So we have a Tectonic Edge to mess with his mana on his turn. He's going to get a Mountain, and he's going to try for a Jace, which we will counter. And at the end of his turn, we'll pop his Creeping Tar Pit, so he doesn't have an ability to mess with us. So we draw a Jace. This is just fantastic. Things are going great here. We draw 3 cards. Those are all cards I'd like. I hide the mana leaks because I know he can Inquisition them. We keep all cards that are un-Inquisitionable in our hand. He gets to land a Spellskite, which is not the best card, but at the same time it is something you have to worry about. We take out his mana a little bit more there, and we keep on our merry way. He dresses away one of our mana leaks, and we'll keep on going here. So we keep on brainstorming, looking for our combo, or just a way to get our Inferno Titan to play without him mana leaking it. So we draw 3 lands and Jace. That's not the best right now. Of note, I might have been able to just play the Inferno Titan earlier. I was just worried about it getting Doom Bladed or mana leaked early. He had a few amount of cards in his hand. Maybe we just gave him enough time. That's the only thing I can think of. The problem with Spellskite is, and there's a mana leak. The problem with Spellskite is he protects. Not only does he stop us from comboing off, it also helps him combo off by protecting his Deceiver. So he gets to attack with his Jace there. Jace will attacks Creeping Tar Pit with a Jace there. Sorry, he attacks Jace with the Creeping Tar Pit there, but we're still drawing a bunch of lands, and we're not getting anywhere right now. We're not finding any of our Deceivers at all. It's not looking good right now. So we bounce his Spellskite there. I'm looking to get something into play here that matters. Unfortunately, we don't find anything. So he plays Deceiver Exarch at the end of his turn, taps the land. We're not in trouble right now because we can bounce. I'm sorry. We could just counter his Splintertwin if he played it. But now we're running into a little bit of trouble. So we bounce a Spellskite. He Inquisitions us, and we enter the Royal the Deceiver in response, so he can't combo us off this turn if he draws another land. Actually, he couldn't combo off, sorry. We had Spell Pierce in hand, but still. I was looking to get rid of the Deceiver from his hand, hopefully draw another mana leak by now. So we play a Seagate Oracle. We find another Splintertwin. It's not exactly what we want to see right now. I Inner Royal the Spellskite in response, so I can find a mana leak if we can. We don't find a mana leak in time. And if he had Splintertwin there, he would have just killed us, but he doesn't have Splintertwin in his hand yet, at least. So we're still flooded here. We've hit all of our land drops. We almost have double the lands of our opponent. And that's a good place to be in, unless you don't actually get the card you need as well. He kills our Seagate in response to its Splintertwin, and he found his own Splintertwin. Luckily for us, his Spellskite is in the play, so we get to bounce it. So we bounce the Spellskite and play our Jace. Oh, and Splintertwin, I'm sorry. Splintertwin finds nothing. The Jace gets to brainstorm. We find a lot of cards, but it may be too late. At least we get the shuffled Moya Scalding Tarn. So he plays a Spellskite and Preordains. If we can find even like a Tectonic Edge, we can take him off his double red too. He unfortunately finds a go for the throat for our Seagate Oracle. So here we have the combo in our hand. We try to go for it. And we go off. So things turned out well. There was one turn where we could have lost, but we didn't lose. We didn't draw the best, but our superior mana turned out fine for us in the end. So we'll go into game 2 of round 4. I was feeling really good there. Here we come to this hand. So this hand was just fine as well. I mean, it's not the best, obviously, but we do have lands and deceivers in hand, so he's got to respect us. Tectonic Edges are great in this matchup. So he duressed us, and I don't know what he took. Oh, he couldn't take anything. We didn't have any. I'm sorry. Yeah, we didn't have any non-creatures in our hand at the time. So we Tectonic away his Creeping Tar Pit. He gets to take one of our deceivers there with an Inquisition. Now this game looks like it's won by me. He's missed land drops, and we Tectonic Edge away another land, so it's looking really well. All we need to find is a combo piece or a Jace to put this away. So we're hitting all the land drops. Things are looking great. Well, not that many land drops. I don't need that much land. Oh no. So we played a Deceiver in response. He mana leaks it, but it was a free roll for us because Deceiver wasn't going to get destroyed by his Inquisition anyways. We get to play an Inferno Titan here, but we don't have anything in our hand to back it up, and he just kills it. Right about here. Great thing for us is we top decked the Jace, but he was going to tap down our Deceiver there. Okay. He didn't actually kill it. I'm sorry. He just Splintertwinned. So that's how powerful the deck is. He was really far behind that game, but we couldn't do anything about it at that point. The Jace didn't find anything that could deal with his Deceiver. If we had drawn a Another Royal or Combust, we bring in 2 Combusts. We would have been fine, but we didn't find anything, and an overwhelming board position was taken over by 2 cards. That's just how this matchup goes. You always got to be careful about that, and I didn't have any way to deal with it, so I had to play around. I couldn't play around it. So on to game 3 of round 4. This was pretty exciting here. So I have to mulligan to 5, but I find probably one of the best mulligans to 5 you can have. Maybe not the Manic Vandal in your opening hand, but it's not bad at all. So we preordain in some land and a mana leak. We mana leak his Duress. He plays a tapped land, so that means we can resolve our Jace. So we get a red mana here. It means we can also Splintertwin with the Terramorphic eventually. We'll have 2 red at least. So it Inquisitions us, takes away our End of the Royal, plays a Spellskite. We'll get to Vandal his Spellskite and play a Terramorphic as well. And pass the turn back to him. So here, he can't activate his Tar Pit, he just plays a Jace, which is a fine trade there for me. That was perfect. We draw a Mind Sculptor off the top, which is really nice. I draw 3, hopefully he doesn't have enough to activate his Creeping Tar Pit next turn. If not, we just play a... So he does find a black source, but comes and play tap, which is one of the advantages of our deck. All of our lands come and play untapped, besides our Terramorphic Expanse. He has a Deceiver there, but we have the counter for it. And he's down to 2 cards in hand, while we have 3, and we started on a mulligan to 5. He eventually gets to activate his Creeping Tar Pit, but by now we've Fate Sealed with Jace, so he's not going to straight up die to Creeping Tar Pit. We find a Tectonic Edge, which means Jace will not die to his Creeping Tar Pit. He's going to go to swing. We wait till he actually swings, so he can't use it for a Deceiver, Exarch, or anything he wants to do in the main phase. In combat. It doesn't really matter here, but it's interesting. So now we're just going to wait and sit back on our Jace, build up card advantage, shuffle away cards we don't want. We're drawing a little bit of lands here. It would be nice to get some of our finishers, but at the same time, he's not really doing anything. So we find a Deceiver Exarch. Things are looking pretty good. We go to play it. After we enter the Royal we enter the Royal there, and we play a Splintertwin on our Manic Vandal, so we can kill a Spellskite when it comes back into play. Unfortunately for us, he has a removal for our Manic Vandal, so things don't work out well. He gets to take our Mana Leak there with the Inquisition. It wasn't the best place to try to counter that, We tap his land in response with a spell Skite, but he has a combust to ensure that one doesn't survive. Thankfully, he had to do it on his turn though, instead of response to our Splintertwin, because we would have tapped down his mana otherwise. So we play another Deceiver Exarch, tap down another mana. Hopefully he doesn't have a combust in his hand or a removal spell right now. Actually, only combust will save him at this point since we drew a Spell Pierce. Unfortunately for him, he has combust. Combust is just great in the mirror. Each combust says as long as you have 2 mana, your opponent can't combo off with Deceiver Exarch. So he plays a Jace in our Jace. We let it resolve because we have extra Jaces to go. Our Spell Pierce is actually still useful against him in other ways. So we drop a Consecrated Sphinx here. This should be very effective against our opponent. He's used up a lot of removal, and combust doesn't kill Consecrated Sphinx, so we're looking pretty good here. We draw another Tectonic Edge. Looking great. Find another Deceiver Exarch. Tectonic Edge away one of his lands. We're trying to stay ahead of mana, which we are. And we've got a good setup here. Fortunately for us, our opponent draws a Go for the Throat on his draw step. So we don't get to have a Consecrated Sphinx in play still. We tap down a Spell Skite with a Deceiver. We might have to win with just 1/4s. We find a Combust and a bunch of other counter spells, so we're not looking bad here, but at the same time we don't have any way to finish the game yet. We could start Fate Sealing, but I think it would be faster if we brainstorm into one of our finishers. We have only 12 cards left in our deck, so we've dug really far as opposed to his 35 cards left in his deck. Unfortunately, we're still not finding any finishers. So we know we have them in our deck, so we'll just keep on brainstorming. And again, we don't find anything, so we just keep on attacking him. We're just going to win this game by attacking with 1/4s and 2/2s? I guess so. So we keep on down this route. We brainstorm again. We find a Inferno Titan here. We swing and we win the game anyways. So just show you how these matches can turn out. This deck is really powerful. Combust is insane in the mirror. Just a lot of good things. I like the blue-red version better. Their red mana is pretty shaky. And they have Tectonic is just so great against them. Overall, they do get the bonus of having information of our hand with their hand discard. But we just have a more streamlined setup. At the same time, hand discard can be really good. At the same time, that you can miss on the hand discard or hand discard and they top deck it, as opposed to a counter spell. If they top deck it and you still have your counter spell in your hand, you counter their spell. So that was a daily for you, 4-0. I really like this deck. I actually played it to a top 8 finish in a premier event just yesterday as well. But I think that was beginner's luck because I played horribly in the top 8. And the sideboard was a lot different. But I'll see you next week or next article.